You think a crow sees a human when it looks at you, a person with thoughts, emotions, and identity. But that's not what happens at all. To a crow, you are something much simpler and much more unsettling. You are a pattern, a possibility, a creature whose behavior must be predicted before it becomes dangerous. And the disturbing part is that a crow can decide what you are long before you even realize it has been watching you. Scientists discovered that crows can recognize human faces for years. They can remember specific people, warn other crows about them, and react emotionally the moment those faces appear again. So if a crow doesn't actually see you as a human being, then what exactly does it see? If you want to understand how crows truly see the world, their intelligence, memory, and hidden psychology, subscribe to the channel. Because the more researchers study crows, the less they seem like ordinary birds, and the more they seem like silent observers, learning everything about the world around them. Most humans assume animals see us the same way we see each other. We imagine that when a crow looks at us, it sees a human standing there. But crows do not organize the world around identity. They organize it around behavior. A crow does not care about your name, your beliefs, or the story you tell yourself about who you are. It only cares about what you consistently do. That difference changes everything. Researchers at the University of Washington demonstrated this in one of the most famous crow studies ever conducted. Scientists wore specific masks while capturing and tagging wild crows. The birds experienced those masked humans as threats. Years later, whenever the same masks appeared again, crows immediately reacted with alarm calls and aggressive behavior. But the truly unsettling part came afterward. Even younger crows that had never seen the original event began reacting to those masks too. The information had spread socially through the group. The crows taught each other which human faces represented danger. Think about what that means for a moment. A crow can hate your face because another crow told it to. To humans, identity feels deeply personal. But to a crow, your face can simply become a symbol attached to a memory. The bird is not asking who you are as a person. It is asking a much more practical question. What happens when this creature appears? That is how crows survive. Their intelligence evolved around prediction. Every day they scan the environment looking for reliable patterns. Which places contain food? Which animals attack nests? Which humans leave scraps behind? Which ones throw objects or chase birds away? Once a crow identifies a pattern, it remembers it with incredible precision. This is why some people notice that crows seem unusually aware of them. A crow perched on a rooftop may appear calm and distant, but it is constantly observing movement, posture, routines, and reactions. If you walk the same street every morning, the crow begins building a mental model of you. It notices your pace, where you stop, whether you carry food, and how you react to nearby birds. Slowly, you stop being random. You become predictable. And predictability is one of the most important things in a crow's world. Humans often think intelligence means language or emotion. But for crows, intelligence is deeply connected to survival. The bird that predicts danger correctly survives longer. The bird that recognizes useful behavior finds more food. Over time, crow intelligence became astonishingly advanced. Researchers have observed crows using tools, solving multi-step puzzles, and even understanding basic cause and effect relationships. Some urban crows have learned to use traffic to crack nuts open. They place nuts on roads, wait for cars to crush them, and then safely retrieve the food when traffic lights stop vehicles. That level of awareness requires timing, memory, and environmental understanding. Now imagine that same intelligence directed toward you. When a crow watches you, it is not casually staring. It is collecting information. Your eye contact matters. Your body language matters. Your habits matter. Even small behaviors can affect how the crow categorizes you. And once the categorization happens, it can be difficult to change. If a crow associates your face with danger, that image may stay attached to you for years. Researchers found that crows remembered threatening human faces long after the original encounters occurred. Some birds reacted immediately with loud alarm calls the moment those faces returned. Then, something even stranger happened. Other crows joined in. This behavior is called mobbing. One crow identifies a potential threat and signals the others. Suddenly, multiple birds gather together shouting warnings from rooftops and trees. To a human, it can feel almost personal, as if the birds are targeting someone specifically. In reality, the crows are responding to a learned survival signal. Your face has become information, and that reveals something deeply unsettling about how crows see the world. Humans tend to believe identity exists inside us, like something permanent and meaningful. But crows ignore all of that. They reduce creatures to consequences: safe, dangerous, useful, predictable, nothing more. In some ways, that makes their perception brutally honest. Humans constantly disguise themselves socially. We hide emotions, fake confidence, and change personalities depending on who we are around. But crows do not care about social performance. They trust repeated behavior more than appearances. That means your actions matter more than your intentions. You may believe you are harmless, but if your behavior creates fear, the crow remembers fear. You may think you are kind, but if you move unpredictably near nests or young birds, the crow stores that behavior as risk. The bird trusts patterns because patterns are difficult to fake. And maybe that's why being watched by a crow feels so strange. Unlike many animals, crows do not seem mentally absent. When they stare, it often feels deliberate, almost analytical. Their eyes follow movement carefully. Their reactions appear calculated rather than instinctive. For centuries, humans have associated crows with intelligence, mystery, and even death. Part of that reputation may come from the unsettling feeling that crows are always evaluating the world around them. They do not simply react emotionally in the moment. They observe, remember, and adjust. That creates an uncomfortable possibility. The crow looking at you may already know far more about your behavior than you realize. And to the crow, that behavior is your identity. Not your thoughts, not your personality, not your intentions, just your patterns. That means you only exist inside the role the crow assigns to you. You are either a source of safety, a source of danger, a provider of food, or a disturbance moving through its territory. The crow does not care about the deeper story humans tell themselves about individuality. It only cares about outcomes. And maybe that is the most uncomfortable realization of all. Because humans like believing we are understood through emotion and personality. But the crow sees something much colder and more precise. It sees consistency. It sees repeated actions. It sees probabilities. To a crow, you are not a human standing beneath the sky. You are a future event waiting to happen. A creature whose next move must constantly be predicted. So the next time a crow watches you from a rooftop or follows your movement through the trees, remember this. The bird is not looking at you the way another human would. It is studying your patterns, measuring your behavior, calculating your consequences. And maybe, in a strange way, the crow sees humans more honestly than humans see themselves.